What's up guys, and welcome back to the tutorials. Today I'm going to be taking you back to the 3D parts of After Effects. We're going to be talking about the element3d plugin. This is actually an external plugin. It's a third-party plugin from Video Copilot that can be used to do a lot of sorts of 3D text animation, logo, reveal, character, some minor character animations, and also objects like planes, animations, car movement, and rig. And we're going to be talking about those in the tutorial. So without further ado, so let's get started. Mind you, element3d plugin actually work on some computer with supported graphics card. I'll be leaving a link to the supported graphics card and GPU that element3d works on. If yours, it might not work on your computer if you you're not having one of these supported graphics card. Okay, so let's get on to it. So I already installed the plugin, so let me just start by creating a new composition. Let me put it at 1920 by 1080p. Where is that? Okay, this is it. Okay, no, this is not it. Okay, 1920. Sorry, let me just manually do this. 1920 by 1080p. Here. Okay, so we'll go in here. So the next thing I want to do now to bring in 3D stuff, I just have to right click here, new, and then create a solid. Let me just name this as element. So then I have to come over to this part for the shortcut. I just have to type on element. I already installed the plugin, which is this. If I don't want to use the shortcut, okay, I just have to come over to effect. Like, first of all, you have to select your layer here, then go over to effects, Video Copilot, and then elements. Okay, so these are several other plugins which I've installed, which we've already talked about. We're going to be talking about some of them in the other tutorials. So I'm just going to click on this and then click on elements. Here we go. If I don't want, I can just drag it here. So now you can see here now it shows a blank screen, but if you look at the effects control panel, it says elements. So you see a bunch of stuff here. We're going to be talking about this, but let's start for the beginners. So you can see nothing is actually shown on the screen. So let's click on scene setup. Okay, so now it shows you a big floor. You can see here's empty, and then yeah, it has like a preview panel. So when you install, if you could look over to this side, you can see it says Jet Strike, Metropolitan Starter Pack, and then Favorite. When you install the element3d, it normally comes with this physical starter pack. You can see different kinds of stuff in here, like a bulb, chest. These are all in 3D stuff. This Jet Strike, I actually manually installed this. This is a different pack that comes separately. I installed this too, but this starter pack always comes once you install the element3d. So now I'm going to be adding one of these to let me say I want to add these billboard. So it says model has a, don't just ignore this, click OK. And if you look on this side, you can see that the model is being added here, and you can see it's in 3D. Wow, this is amazing. This is amazing. So now if you can look here, down here, it says poster 2, billboard, and then poster. You can see this is actually the texture of this thing you see in here. I don't know if you guys know about texture. Texture is actually like the color of any material that's been added. Texture is like the color, like you see this color of this thing here. Let me zoom in. For those of you using a mouse, you can just scroll up. For those of you using your laptop or computer DexPad, you know the way you normally zoom on your Android phone, like you can pinch to zoom. That's how you normally zoom. So you can see this color here. This is actually this color. Okay, this is the color. If I should come here and now I delete this, let me just say I come here and then let me say I delete this. Let me say yes. You notice now, you can see the whole billboard is now white. The texture is no longer there. It's now white because that was the color. That was the color of the material. So now I'm going to undo that. Ctrl Z. Now you can see the color is back. Color is back to normal. Everything is back. So now this is where you actually see the texture of the material you add. Let's say I want to change this now. Just look at this. Okay, let's say for the screen now, let me go over to the screen. Let's say the screen, I want to change it to another color. This is actually scene material. These are the scene that are added to the object. So let's go over to preset now. You can see here it says environment, bevel, a lot of stuff here we're going to be talking about. So but let's start from somewhere. So let's say from materials, let's say physical. Mind you, this pro should there are some stuff I manually install. If you once you install your element, you might not see some of these. So I'm just working with the ones you see. So now you can see this texture here. I want this to be, let's say I want this to be gold. I can just manually drag this, just like we would normally drag plugins and then drop it on the screen. And then now we got a golden screen. You can see it. Now if we should go back to the scene material, you can see a golden texture has been added. You can see. If I want the golden texture to be here, I can just easily drag it to there and then drop it. And also another golden scene. So now the screen is now a golden screen. The same thing also to this texture of the leg. I can also add this to the leg. Now this one here. And now wow, everything is now golden, like a golden billboard. Yeah, that's how like it's just manually changed everything. But if let me just undo this. So that's it for that. If you want to add texture, you can manually come here and add any texture you want, like that, and then wow. Yeah. So now let's come over to this part here. You can see different parts here. It says this first one says it's like a camera. It's a camera tool. This is the select tool. This is direction. I think this is direction, rotation, and this is scale, and this is to lock axis. So now let's start up with this first one here. If I should click this now, I think this is the camera tool that lets you pan around, rotate, turn, makes you do all the movements. Yada. Then this is the select tool. If I should click this now, I don't think you can no longer rotate anything. You cannot move, make any movement. Everything is just still. So this is what it does. It doesn't let any movement. You can highest thing you can do is just move with the direction, which is this one. So let me say I turn off this. You cannot do anything again. You can see I cannot click, I cannot move, everything just still. I can only select but cannot do anything. So let me get back my camera and move. And then this one here is the rotation tool. Like it's simple, you already know. Just to rotate anywhere you want to rotate to, anyway we should wish to rotate to. And this is the scale tool. If I want to scale this thing up, I want to make it bigger, or if I just want to scale on the y-axis, or just any of the axis, any of the axis I choose to scale onto. Okay, that's just it for that. And then this is the lock tool. If you lock this on the axis, I'm not sure you can move it. Okay, sorry, the direction, let me turn on the direction and then lock movement. Now you can see you can't move. You can see I can easily, what this does is that it helps you change the point of command. Like we've talked about this in text animation. Like if I should rotate this now, if I should go back to the rotation now, you can see the rotation has moved to this part, just like the anchor points we'll talk about. You can see the directional movement has come over to this leg. If I say like, okay, let me take this back, this point of rotation, let me take it back to this part. I can take it to the middle, or I can take it to this part at the screen, lock it there, and then the rotation command begins from the screen. You can see the rotation is now coming from the screen. Okay, so but that's not what we want to do now. I'm just showing you guys that. So that's it. So if you should come over to this part now, it says single light. This has to control with the lighting system of this whole environment. So if I should come here now, just take a look at this billboard now. Let me see so you can see this. I'm going to take it closer so you guys can see what I'm doing. So let me here say, let me see this single light now. I changed this now to clean blue. You can see the texture, the lighting just changed, like as if the light was turned off. So this has to do with the lighting system. You can see the light system are actually changing. You can see it. Anyone which you choose, and also you can also get to reduce the way it affects the environment, the strength of that environment. You should choose the lighting setup from here, and also you can get to preview the environment which you've selected. You can see the environment of the scene. Let's say you select an environment, not this light system. This is just light system, not this environment. I'm going to be showing you guys how to work on with the environment. Then you can also change the color of the light environment. So, but that's not what we're here for. I'm going to be showing you guys how to change the environment. So so let me bring that back. I just mistakenly took it off. This is actually changing the scene of this whole environment. We don't want to be doing that. That's not what we want to do. That's if we want to change the scene of the color of this environment. So now let's get on to this one. This one here, you see this thing here, it's like a center camera. Like anywhere, any object you select, select any part of the object you select, and then you click this, it takes you to that place. Okay, any part of the object you select, and then you click. Let me say I select control and then select this part, and then you click this, it takes you to that place. Okay, and these are for extra. If you want to, you can see this is show information, ambient occlusion, grade. If you want to turn off the grade, you can see it. These are just stuff from the viewport. So now if you could come up to this part here, it says perspective. Perspective, this is the like kind of view you want. If you want a top view, see top view here, left, any of the camera views you want, left, front view, right, back, any side of the views you want, it shows you. Okay, so I'm going to leave it as perspective because perspective is what lets you make a 360 rotation of this one. So these are the kind of mode which you want. The wireframe mode looks like just wiry form of this whole thing. You can see it looks like wire, like a skeletal form of this. You can see everything is not out. You can see the whole leg is showing somehow because this is wireframe mode. So let me change this back to points. You can see points are actually showing the points which everything is joined together. You can see it looks like a blueprint, like a structure or something. And then this is the shaded. The shaded mode is the mode at which we see when it's done, the preview mode. So that's it. So now let's get on to this part here that says scene. Okay, this scene here, everything you see here is actually what is here. You can see this whole, if you come back to this scene materials, this is scene and this is scene materials. This is like the scene and these are the materials involved in this scene. So like if you see this poster, you can see this is the same thing here, poster. Okay, poster 2 and then poster 1. If I should turn this off from here now, okay, I think it should be on this side. Okay, you can see this. If I should turn this off now, you can see on, off, on. It affects here. This is like the control of the texture. If I don't want to control it from here, I can come over here to control it. If I should come over to turn off this one here now, it's on this other side. Let's say I find a golden texture and I don't want to change, like I don't want to long process to come in to fix it. I can just manually select the part of the texture I want to change, which is, let me say I want to change this poster to, I can just select the texture from here and then I just have to double click on this and then manually it's changed. You can see it's the same thing. It's also added here again. You can see if I want to change it back, I can just select it again and then click the poster 2 and then it comes back. Or you just have to do just double click, or I can just drag. Let's say I select the poster 2 and then just drag the golden texture and then drop it on that particular one and then it's changed. You can see it. So that's what this area is used for. So that's it. And then also you can see we're going to be taking a deep down breakdown of you can see it says it's a group folder, and then we're going to be talking more into that. And then you can also see this part that says transformation, auxiliary animation, reflection. You're going to be taking deep down into that once we're getting fully into element3d and how to use the 3D part. I'm just showing this is just the interface of how this whole thing works. So another thing again you should notice that if you should select this thing, this billboard, you can actually see another part that says match view. So if you click the match view is just like the, let me open this down first. Let me go back to this other view that says material view. Material view shows the texture, the billboard, it shows the texture of how it's been built. So if you click on match view, you can see everything has changed. This is the part, like if you say you want to rig this object, if you want to rig it, this is the part whereby you actually link your auxiliary animation, your rotation, and your rigging. This is where you manually select them, and this is just for the texture. So this is just like the bone, and this is just like the color of the skin. That's just the difference between this thing. The mesh view is the bone, while the material view is the color of the skin. Okay, so we see this part, it says transform. It basically has to do with, like, if you remember After Effects, we talked about the positioning of stuff, position, scale, and opacity and stuff, orientations in 3D. Well, this is just the replica of it on element3d. Like, if you can see this now, position Z, it says 0, 0, 0, but if I should move this object now, you can see it's moving in this position, is changing. If I should make changes here, you can see it also affects there. So this is just basically another way to make changes to the position, orientation, and also to the scale. You can see it's getting up and down, and also the orientation. If I want to rotate this around, let me first scale this up. If I want to rotate this around, you can see it. This is another way of doing this. And also, I can also change the anchor point from here. I think so. Yeah, you can see I can also change the anchor point. You can see it just moved to another part. I can change the anchor point of the object to any other part of the model, which actually suits it. You can also see X flip, X command. You can see everything is just actually here. I can actually make changes. You see normal size and everything is just how it's supposed to be. Like, I can actually make another changes from here, and there are a lot of stuff we can do here, but we're actually going to be getting down to that alongside of the tutorial. Okay, so let's hop on. Yeah, so, and also this other part here, you can see at this top part it says import. If actually it's import, this is basically if I want to import any 3D object. Okay, I already have one 3D object. Let me click import. I already have a 3D object here that I want to import one time. So let me just click this, and then you see what happens. It shows you. I'm just going to leave everything as the way it is, and then click OK. It might take some time to load depending on the power of your computer, so this might take some time to load up. Okay, you can see this car now. Wow, so beautiful, so beautiful. You can see this is a car. Now I can manually change the texture of this car. I can just just select this part. This car has a lot of parts in it. Okay, if I should bring this down, you can see a lot of parts here: brake, interior, glass, and everything. Let's say I want to change the color of this bumper. I can just select here, press Ctrl, and then click on this bumper, and then drag in this golden texture. I can drop it here, or I can just, you can see as I select it, it says audio wire 00. I can just drop it there, or I can drop it on top, but let me just drop it here. You can see it. You can see the whole body, because this whole body is linked to that stuff. You can see the whole body now is now a golden color. You can see how it looks now. So that's basically it for texture. We're going to be talking more about this with time, so I'm just giving you a brush up of how this whole thing works. So if I want to delete this thing now, like you see this audio here, I can just, it's like a folder. Inside group 1 we have the audio and then blah blah blah. If I want to delete this audio now, I can just click and then it's gone. Let me bring it back again. If I want to, I can just press delete on my keyboard and then it's gone. So that's it for that, and then that one is gone. And then this next part, it says extrude. We're going to be talking about this part. I need to do something on the other end on After Effects. You can see this whole layer, it's like a different software on its own. So this part, let me just move on. I'm going to leave this part first for now, and then come over to this create. This way you can see different shapes. You can see the square, the sphere, like a cylinder, a cone, a torus. I think it's like a cylinder. This is the flat surface. Let me just say I want to add this now. You can see it's just there like a donut. For those of you using Blender, this is like a donut. And then let's say I want to add the texture to this. I can also bring this golden texture, drag and drop on it. Sorry, let's drag and drop on this. Okay. Or let me say I select it from here, and then just double click on it. You can see, wow, it's now there. It's so fine and it's there. You can add in here. Let me just add other colors. You can see other colors can be added. You just had to add that one just to show you. So for those of you wondering why I was using gold, so you can see you can add multiple colors and everything. So that's it. So now on this other part, now let's go on to the environment. Now let me select this gold. You can see the gold now. So if I should let me take a closer zoom to this thing so you can see when I add the environment, you can see what happens. Let's say now environment. When it comes to environment, it shows you here, it says 2K environment. If you want to go by file, let me say from file, it shows you your environment. Basically you can see all of them here. This is, let me say you want to manually add, or you just want to select from here. But let's say you don't want to go through all this long process. Another way of adding the environment, you can actually come over to this part, environment. This is the, I think this is the basic 2K environment that comes with it. You can see it here, it just shows here and everything. If I should click here now, just look at this, take your eyes on this. Let me double click on this. You can notice the reflection change and so on. You can see the reflection of this stuff here. You can see this basic 2K. You can see it here. This thing that looks like a building. Now, if I want to preview this whole thing with the environment, let me click on this environment. And now you can see somehow this picture that's here. It's what's here. These are 360 image that makes it feel like you're actually there. If I should check this one that looks like with this green plant, you can see it changes and it's reflecting on the object. Let me pick something that looks like a room. You can see it. It's there. You can see it's there. They're all there. They're all reflecting on it. You can see it. You can see everything. So shiny and it's there. Let me talk about the 4K. These are 4K environment which I downloaded. These are not follow com. This does not follow the element3d when installed. You have to install this. There's some stuff you have to manually install. Let me install this. Let me select this 2K environment, a 4K environment, and see what happens. You see it's really big. You can see how reflective it is now, very shiny. Wow, I like using this for most of my 3D texture and animation stuff. You can see there. Let me select outdoor. You can see it's reflecting on the object. It's like it's afternoon. Let me select this restaurant, bush restaurant. Like you can see them. They're all there. Look at this one too. You can just select this. And then it affects the environment. You can turn this off. And then yeah. So that's basically it. So we're going to be talking about this other part, this extrude part. You can also add multiple objects to the scene. Like, see, I just added this stuff. It's usually there. Let me bring it to this side. Sorry. Let me click. Since I select that object, you cannot see it now. Since I just select the object, let me see. I can select it from here, or I can select it from the scene. You just have to click this, and then it takes me to the object. Let me bring it back to the scene. Click again. Oh, sorry. It will take me to the object. I just rotate the camera. So as you can see, I can also decide to rotate this and then change the texture color if I want. See how it's like a lady, like a statue. Let me say I want to change her texture. Physical. I can just come back to physical. Sorry. Material. Let me come over to, okay, let me use something. Let me use this golden color. You can see how it looks now. Our skin is now looking all goldish, and yeah. So that's it for the introductory part of element3d. We're going to be heading on to the next part by adding 3D text and also moving on to the animations and rigging stuff. So without further ado, let's get on to the next phase. Thank you.